All right, guys, it's time to wake up. It ain't over. It's Friday, but we got to do an end of week recap. I hope you had a green week. I hope you didn't trade like a jackass. I hope you've actually started backtesting your strategy so you know the best place to put your take profit and your stop loss. And hopefully, you're not gambling all of that money that you worked hard for. So I hope you had a green week. If you were green, comment down below. Let me know. If you were red, comment down below and let me know. I'm ending the week with 7 winners and 2 losers. I'm going to walk through every single small cap trade with you. If you're brand new to the channel, guys, my name is Andrew. I've been a day trader for the past 6 years, and for the past 15 months, I've backtested over 4,132 breakouts to find out what truly works in this market. So every single trade I go in, I know the best place to put take profit, best place to put stop loss, and I know when a small cap stock breaks out if I actually have an edge or not. And finally, after tracking all this information, I don't feel like trading is gambling anymore. So let's jump into the exact trades that I took this week. Let's go ahead and pull up the Webull charts, guys. Pull up yours and follow along with me. The very first trade that I took this week was WOK. So ticker's going to be up here in the top left-hand corner. So let me grab my trusty crayon here. Ticker's up here in the top left-hand corner. I'm on the 5-minute time frame, always making my trading decisions on the 5-minute time frame. And we're going to go all the way back to Monday. And I took this trade at 9:50 a.m. So if you haven't been watching my content, I'm a continuation trader, which means I'm never really trading the first move to the upside. I like to wait for a pullback on the 5-minute time frame and then play a breakout of that level. For WOK, we made this move in pre-market early on, and it really wasn't on my radar. This level was only up 13%. It continued to pull back and just chop sideways for all of pre-market. And then finally at market open, we start to get this pullback. And then what I'm waiting for, as soon as we get this pullback, it was really on my radar then, because at that point it was up over 18% for the day, which is right above my threshold. I needed to be up at least 17%. Now, this is where you're going to want to grab your paper and your pen. After I get that 5-minute pullback, I set my breakout level. My breakout level was right here at 264. And as soon as I set that level, guys, I go ahead and right click at that line and I set my alert, because I want to be notified when the price breaks above that. Because if you just go off of generic advice, people will tell you that as soon as a 5-minute candle closes above a prior level of resistance, there's a very good chance that we're going to get continuation. Hopefully you don't believe that BS. Take that with a grain of salt. After backtesting over 4,100 plus trades, I can promise you that's not profitable. You're going to have about a 44% win rate. So I highly recommend that you don't do that. But don't worry, Uncle Andrew is here and he's going to give you a couple key pointers in this video so you don't go out there and have a 44% win rate. Now, right here at 950, we just ever so barely close above that level. So here's your checklist, what you want to go through. First and foremost, price, take a look at it. It must be below $20. Price, as the stock was breaking out, was around 264, so that was great. Free float, this is the amount of shares that are tradable for retail traders like me and you. That must be below 10 million. That was a check. And then market cap, that is exactly what the market is currently valuing the company for. The market cap must be below 50 million, all right? So market cap below 50 million, free float below 10, price below 20, check, check, check. If all of those things are check, 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 the next thing you need to check is the correct time frame. For me, my trading window with my one-on-one students every single day for my personal trading, and what I recommend for my students as well, is from 9 a.m. till 12. And after backtesting 4,100 plus trades, I've backtested everything from 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9, all the way till 12. And I've compared all of those different time frames. The most consistent time frame for win rate across the past 15 months has been from 9 a.m. till 12. And it's not that I'm in love with that time window whatsoever. It's just what has worked best. It's what the data is telling me. So if the data is telling me that, and that's when I can make money, guess what? That's when I'm going to be trading. So if you want to be able to pull off this strategy, you need to be available at least 3 times per week, preferably 5 times per week. So right here at 950, when we close above that, the next thing that truly matters, if you went through that entire checklist and WOK is checking out, then right here on the 5-minute time frame, we need to zoom into the 1-minute time frame. And what's so important is that the 1-minute time frame gets continuation. So I'm going to zoom into the 1-minute time frame. We're going to right click on the chart, come down here, go back to Monday on the 17th, click OK. We're going to zoom in here. And then right here at 950, this is the 1-minute candle right here that closes that 5-minute candle at 950. That closed green. That is the first check. Now I got my finger on the trigger waiting for this next 1-minute candle to close. If this next 1-minute candle can close green, then I'm going to enter. And that's exactly when I punched it right here. Hit the buy button right here at the close of this candle and went for a quick 15%. So if we just measured that out from where I entered at, this stock moved for 16% right there. So, and again, this is the power of tracking the data and knowing the best place to put your take profit. And for this strategy, 15 to 16% consistently has outperformed every other strategy. The higher you go and take profit, the less profitable that you are. And after tracking 4,100 plus breakouts, guys, you got to stop going for the big moves, especially if you trade with over a 10K plus account. If you take a look right here, these are the amount of stocks that have ran for over 100% after a 5-minute candle confirmed breakout. over 4,132 trades tracked, only 183, which means you only got a 4.5% chance to go catch a 100% runner, guys. You got to stop doing it. It's really hurting your trading. I promise you, after sitting here and tracking for hours and hours every single day, I can assure you there has been no strategy that I found where it's been highly profitable for you to go for 100% take profit. So stop gambling and start taking the base hits. So that was WOK, which was great. Now let's go back to the 5-minute time frame, and I want to explain the second trade that I took on it, which ended up being a 20% loser, which made Monday a small red day for me. It wasn't a green day. So started off the day with the very first green trade, which was great. But I decided to take continuation on WOK because one of the things that I track, I was like, okay, so the 1-minute time frame has a massive direct correlation to win rate. I found that around like July, August of last year. And I said, okay, well, what happens if the 1-minute candles align green, 950 close green, 951 closes green? What if I zoom back out to the 5-minute time frame and the next 5-minute candle also closes green as well? And what I found is if that happens, if you get, I call this the green light special continuation, and you enter with another position at the close of the next candle, the win rate on that is actually even higher. It's right at 70% from all of the back tested data that I have. So I decided to enter again right here with another position, same position size. And unfortunately, I just get knifed down right here, which is going to happen in the small cap market. I had a 20% stop loss on. So it didn't fully hit my stop loss right here on this candle. It pulled back a total of 13%. Later on in the day, you'll see that it pulled back for a full 20%. It ended up kicking me out. So that was unfortunate. But if you take a look here at the profile, this stock is from China. And while I do trade stocks from China, what I can tell you from trading stocks from China, United States, Canada, so on and so forth, Chinese stocks are a lot more volatile, which means these candlesticks, they have no problems doing 10, 15, 20% wicks in no time. So I wasn't super surprised that this one made a quick move to the upside and then ended up, dumping for the rest of the day. It was unfortunate, but with all the backtested data that I have, those are setups that I have to take every single day. So I'm happy with both of the trades that I took on Monday, even though it was a losing trade. We come back to Tuesday, and Tuesday, I didn't take my first trade until 9:57 a.m. So if we go to PFSA, go down here to the calendar, click on the 18th. I took this trade right at around 9:57. So if we take a look right here for PFSA, this was the original breakout level that I set in pre-market, and it made this move up early. First of all, it started rounding up here in after hours, and then it made this high right here at 4:25 a.m. It was well up over 17% at that point. So when I got to the computer early in the morning, this one was like at the top of the top gainers list. I was able to easily identify this level. I saw it pulling back. I was like, yeah, this one probably isn't going to go breakout, but I always set my alerts just in case. So set my alert early in pre-market. This thing really chopped sideways going into market open. We get the big pop, and then finally a 5-minute candle breaks above $11.98 right here. And that's when I get alerted right here at 9:55. Now, the way that I played this is I played this as a market cap was below 50 million, free float was below 1 million. I played this one as a green light special. So right here, if we zoom into the 1-minute time frame, we'll go to 1-minute PFSA, same exact time right here. Let's zoom in. You're going to see that this candle right here at 9:52, and then the next 1-minute candle was 9:57. What does that mean? Why is there a 5-minute gap between these two candles? That means before that fully 5-minute candle could close, we got halted. And typically when these small cap stocks get halted, they last for about 5 minutes. And a halt, guys, why these stocks get halted, what they tell us is market makers have to halt the stock in order to match up buy and sell orders because the stock is moving too fast in one direction. So if a small cap stock gets moving too fast to the upside, it'll get halted. Also, if it moves too fast to the downside, it will also get halted down as well. Now, when that candlestick gets halted right there, I do count that as the 5-minute candle close because we got another 5 minutes until the next candle opens. So that 5-minute candle is over. All right, so that's the first 1-minute candle trending green. So as soon as it got unhalted here, all I needed was for the next 1-minute candle to close green, which is exactly what happened. So I punched it. I entered right here at the close of that 9:57 candle because that's when it opened up. And I went for a 15% take profit. I don't remember if I got filled immediately. Yep, I got filled here in the next 2 minutes. My take profit was right here at 15%. We wicked up 17%, ended up pulling back here, down 15%. My stop loss on this was 20%. So I would have been able to catch some of this rebound if I had not called the take profit immediately. But what you'll see and what you'll notice, guys, is that a lot of times by back testing the data, I'm able to get out of these stocks close or near the top. And the reason why is by going through and back testing the data, I've been able to find what's been most consistent and profitable over time. This stock ended up popping for a little over 17%. A lot of traders would stay in that and say, oh, you know what? This stock is getting halted to the upside. Like, let's continue to stay in it. But that just wasn't the case. This stock got halted at 959 right now. Right here, got unhalted at 1004. When it unhalted, that's when it made its big move down. A lot of traders, but guys, caught on that. So fortunately for me, I did it. I did get caught on that, and that was phenomenal. So if we zoom back out to the 5-minute time frame and just take a look at that, that's exactly how I traded that bad boy. All right, so now moving on to the next one that I took was at 10:50 a.m. that same day, which is IPST. So let's go over to IPST right here on the 5-minute time frame. We're gonna go to 10:50 right here and click on OK. And if we take a look right here, this is the level that I set later on right here. Our level was originally right down here at this, around this 1073 level. We get a pullback right here. So this thing basically had no action in pre-market. Wasn't on my watch list. We didn't get a pop until after market open. After market open, if we just measured that out from the previous close, this stock was up a little over 44%. So this was about in the middle of the top gainers list. And then right here, we start to pull back at 1020, 1025, 1030. I'll take a break from 1001 to 1030 every day because from tracking all the data, the one main strategy that I look for every day is not profitable during that time frame. So I'll take a quick 30-minute break. And after I got back from my 30-minute break is when I saw this one start to bounce. I had my alert set right here, this 1073 level. The 5-minute candle closes above it at 1045. So walk through that checklist with me. Price is well below $20. Market cap is below 50 million. Free float is below 10 million. If we take a look over here at the profile, let's see where the stock was from. The stock is from the United States. This does have a direct correlation to where I'm going to put my win rate. So stocks from the United States, China, and Canada, I can go for a full 15% with this strategy. If it's from any other country outside of the United States, China, or Canada, what I found is the most profitable take profit is actually 10%. The win rate for 10% is way higher than 15%, making it more profitable. And from what I found is stocks that are from other countries, they just don't get the same amount of continuation. So for IPST, if we zoom into the 1-minute time frame, we're going to look for the 10:45 a.m. candle and the 10:46 candle. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to zoom in here. We can see green. We can see green. I enter at the close of this candle right here. My take profit is 15%. My stop loss is 20%. I don't get rewarded immediately. We get an 8% of drawback right there, right? It doesn't look like much, but that was 8% of drawback. A lot of traders would sell on that. Not me. I stay disciplined. The reason why I can stay disciplined is because I have the back tested data that more than likely this stock is going to bounce back. And then we make the move all the way up to 2025, which represents a 68% move. I'm never going to catch that much on it, guys. I don't use trailing stop losses. I don't take my stop loss and put it up to break even because it makes trading way more complicated than it should be. I would have to back test so many different things in order to know if that's more profitable than just taking a hard take profit. So I take a hard take profit at 15%, which I got filled right here around in this area, and got out for a nice 15% win on that one as well. So Tuesday was a beautiful green day for me. And then we keep that momentum going into Wednesday. And the very first trade that I took on Wednesday was ticker FEMY. Now, FEMY was interesting because this one was a different setup, if I remember correctly. So let's go back here. I'm pretty sure it was early in the morning when I took this setup. Yeah, so for FEMY, out of the 4,100 plus breakouts that I've tracked, so this number right here, those are all breakouts. So what I mean by that is when the stock has went and set a level, it's pulled back, and then a 5-minute candle was broke above that level. That's my trigger to start tracking it, put it on the dashboard. Now, one thing that I've been tracking is all of the price action and everything that goes on before the breakout. And what I was able to identify on FEMY is something that I've been tracking for a little over a month now that's been very promising, which has been getting me in before the breakouts. I just rolled this out to all of my one-on-one students. So we decided to enter in FEMY right here at the close of this candle right here. And our take profit was 15%. Our stop loss was 20%. So once we entered right here, we had a little bit of drawback right here, but ended up rounding, hit our take profit. I think our take profit was like right around this area, so we didn't catch the full move. From our entry right here at the close of this candle, this popped all the way up to 369, which was a 25% move. And this candle right here at $27.7 million worth of volume. So a ton of volume on that bad boy. Executed that one perfectly. Honestly, couldn't have asked for a better trade on that one. So that was 3 winners in a row. Feeling great. Next setup, I don't get until 11:30. And that was going to be on BRNX. So if we just go ahead and pull that up, BRNX, that one was actually moving a little bit today, but let's go back to the 19th. And I took that trade around 11:30. So let's go back to 1130 here, and let's delete this level. The level that we had set on BRNX was this level right here that was actually set in after hours the previous day. So this stock starts to make a move up the previous day. And then it pulls back all of pre-market. Not really on my radar for most of pre-market, but I did identify this level. I had an alert set at that level. And I'm kind of busy at the computer. I think I was editing a video for YouTube actually, and boom, bing, I hear my alert go off on Webull. Immediately, I'll pull it up. I always got it ready to rock and roll. And this 5-minute candle breaks above it right here at 11:30. So I zoom into the 1-minute time frame as usual. But if we go through our checklist here, price is below 20, market cap is below 50 million, free flow is below 10 million. So that's check, check, check. If we come over here and take a look at the profile though, this company right here is from Israel, which means what? I don't go for a full 15% take profit. I go for a 10% take profit because from tracking all the data, that has been a lot more profitable for these stocks from other countries. So let's zoom into the 1-minute time frame right here. 1-minute time frame, boom, boom, boom. I'm going to go to 11:30. 11:30, 1-minute candle closes green. 11:30, 1-minute candle closes green. I enter right here at the close of this candle. Right here. I don't get rewarded immediately. We get a slight pop up and then we pull back and then we pop up to 390. So from my entry, this stock ended up moving a total of 14.7%. And you can see this is the perfect example here of why I take 10% take profits on these stocks from other countries, because from my entry, this stock popped 14.7%, which means it would have been so close to a full 15% take profit. And then what does it do? What these stocks from other countries do, they knife down, they roll over, they make these big moves to the downside. And I do my best to avoid as much as those as I possibly can. And that's why I get a bit more conservative on those to take a quick 10% take profit. So BRNX, fabulous trade. Also on any of these stocks that are from other countries on the 5-minute time frame, I don't take any continuation whatsoever. So if there is continuation on the 5-minute time frame and a stock is outside of the United States, China, and Canada, I don't care. I skip it because from tracking the data, I know that if you enter on that next 5-minute candle close, even if it was green, it's not profitable to go for an extra 15%. So that's 4 winners in a row. Tuesday and Wednesday, we just absolutely crushed it. And then Thursday morning, I start off with MMA right here. And MMA really pissed me off, just to be transparent with you guys. There are some trades that are easy. They run straight to take profit. Then there are other trades where you get into it, they barely wick down, they hit your stop loss, and then they go and run right after. And that's exactly what MMA did to me. So again, one of the many things that I've been tracking is how to get in pre-breakout. A lot of variables that I've been tracking here for the past month. MMA fit all the criteria for the new strategy that I've been rolling out to my one-on-one students that has been working pretty well. We decided to enter at the close of this 5-minute candle right here with a 20% stop loss and a 15% take profit. And if I just measured that out for you, you'll see from my entry right here at market open, we pull back just enough. We wick down to 22%. And then as soon as we wick down right there at market open, this thing ends up bouncing back, breaking out later on at 10 a.m., hitting 95 cents from where I entered at. My take profit was like literally right here at the breakout level, right above it right there. So, man, MMA, I really thought I was going to win on that one. We started to round up, and then it just knifed down right here before market open. It lost all momentum going into the open, and then ended up bouncing back way later. So it is what it is. I took a good setup on that one. I'm not upset with that setup whatsoever. When I see those setups, I do want to take them from the back-tested data that I have. So I'm happy with that setup. It just ended up being a loser. So we wash our hands and we move on to the next one. The next trade that I took was a quick 5% move. I call this one the quickie. So the checklist for this one, price must be below 20. Free float, though, cannot be below 10 million. It needs to be between 10 to 50 million. So what I've noticed is for stocks that have a lower free float below 10 million, you're more likely to get that explosive move to the upside where you can go for a 15% take profit. But when the free float is between 10 to 50 million, the stocks are more stable. And what I mean by that is the win rate is a lot higher for 5% for free floats between 10 to 50 million. So for lower free float, you're more likely to get a big move to the upside, but also too, those stocks are more likely to reverse very quick as well. For stocks between 10 to 50 million, they typically get that quick 5% move after breakout than the other ones. So for JZ, this one didn't start moving until right here going into market open. Big move to the upside. First 5-minute candle pulled back right here at 940. This 5-minute candle breaks out at 945. The big thing that I'm looking for right here, if you take a look, this is a custom indicator that I created. You get this as my one-on-one student as well. I use this in all of my trades. If I put my mouse over this 5-minute candle, you'll see the dollar volume roughly on this 5-minute candle was around 10.9 million. To take this type of setup, all I need is the dollar volume to be above 1 million, which it was. So I punched it right here at the close of this candle. We do get into a little bit of drawback right here, about 6% drawback. And that's why if you're using a very tight stop loss on these small caps, guys, and you're getting kicked out a lot, the reason why is because for almost every single one of my strategies, the stop loss has to be a little bit bigger than the take profit. And the reason why is because we love these stocks for what reason? The volatility, guys. The volatility is a double-edged sword. You love it because they move quick to the upside, but none of you want to get caught in the moves to the downside. Well, if you don't want to get kicked out on those quick moves to the downside, you got to loosen up that stop loss. At least that's what's worked best for me. That's what the data is telling me, so that's what I use. We pop up here to 546, so if you just measured that out, I think that was a little over like a 15% move. It ended up moving 18.9%. I took a quick 5% take profit, so I was taking profit right here in the middle of this candle. Of course, going in with a group order, so it automatically took profit for me. So that was great. Bounce back from that loser on MMA. This was a quick 5% winner, but I went in with a full position. Own that position on MMA and some of these stocks that I'm getting in before the breakout. Since it's a newer strategy, I'm going in with lighter positions on those than what I typically would. And then speaking of getting into stocks before a breakout, the last trade that I took this week was yesterday because today was a no trade day for me. It was CDTG. Breakout level was right here at 390 right here. We get the pullback here. 5-minute candle finally breaks out right here. So this one fit all of the variables that I've been looking for as far as getting in before breakout. I get in at this candle close right here as soon as we establish breakout level. We make a quick pop. I think we're going to go hit take profit. We pull back. My stop loss is like all the way down here because I got a 20% stop loss. This was like an 8% drawdown right here. And then we bounce, and my 15% take profit was right here around this level. We end up hitting take profit. Beautiful. So far for the week, I ended with 7 wins and 2 losses, which was great. It was a phenomenal week. It was a green week, and I'm happy with every single trade that I took. There was only one trade that I missed, and it was GCT. I can't remember the exact ticker, but it was a green light special, and it happened at around like 10:45. And that was unfortunate because I should have took it. It was a green light special. It was from the United States, and it had continuation as well. So with that being said, I hope you learned a couple things from this video. If you guys are interested in one-on-one training with me, you want to live trade with me every single day, Monday through Friday, so I can help you identify these setups in real time, and you're tired of gambling and you want to trade with real back-tested data, click that link down below. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.